Don't miss the inaugural All-American Cup Team Tennis Tournament, presented by Thomas J. Henry, at the Freeman Coliseum in San Antonio, Texas, November 11 through 13. The All-American Cup features 10 top men's U.S. players competing on 2 teams, East versus West, each captained by the greatest tennis doubles team of all time, Mike and Bob Bryan. You don't want to miss this. Brother versus brother, East versus West, best versus best. Tickets on sale now at allamericantenniscup.com.
Okay, let's get to some headlines from across the state of Texas. We're going to start in the FCS. Actually, no. Oh, wow, I'm so used to saying that. The FBS ranks, the newest FBS program in the state of Texas, Sam Houston. Sam Houston is moving up from FCS to FBS, and they have a new quarterback addition, and that is Grant Gunnell. Grant Gunnell, who is the all-time leader in Texas high school football passing yards, such a star there at Houston St. Pius X, is transferring from North Texas to Sam Houston. He's always looked the part, 6'6", 230. I mean, he looks like he was built in a quarterback lab out there. Amazingly, he still has 3 years of eligibility. It'll be his 4th career collegiate stop. He started at Arizona in 2019, there for 2 seasons. Then he went to Memphis for a year. Then he went to North Texas before now. He's only thrown 5 college passes since 2020. They're hoping he's probably going to go in there and compete with Keegan Shoemaker for the starting spot there at Sam Houston. But a big pickup for the Bearcats as they get a new quarterback in their room in Grant Gunnell moving on to there. Texas State also picked up a big transfer commitment this weekend in Joey Hobart. Joey Hobart was an FCS All-American last year at Utah Tech. Utah Tech used to be known as Dixie State, and then they changed their name to Utah Tech. But he's from California. He finished last year with 1,249 yards and 16 touchdowns receiving. He was an FCS All-American as a sophomore. He actually finished 9th for the Walter Payton Award there in the FCS ranks. So there is a connection there if you're looking to say why Texas State for this young man, for Joey Hobart. The passing game coordinator for Texas State, their wide receivers coach and passing game coordinator, Craig Stutzman, was his offensive coordinator at Utah Tech. So now this is a pretty robust wide receiver room that G.J. Kinney is building there with Drew Donnelly, Marshall transfer Shadid Ahmed, and Incarnate Word transfer Cole Wilson. Now adding on to that is Joey Hobart, the FCS All-American there from Utah Tech. Our own Corey Hogue reports on TexasFootball.com that, and this is such like a Division III thing to worry about. It is May. He published this on May 4th. It's May 8th right now. Hardin Simmons is very close to finalizing their schedule. They Coach Jesse Burleson says they are looking for one more game to finish out the 2023 schedule. It says that they have 2 non-conference games scheduled. He reports that they've got 2 non-conference games scheduled against Albright and Wisconsin lacrosse, but they do need one more. He says they're looking at any and all possibilities for 2023 and 2024. Can you imagine if, like, Texas Tech was looking for a non-conference game right now? Like, it would be the only thing we were talking about is how are they going to fill out their schedule? But such is the case down there at the Division III level with Hardin Simmons. And so keep an eye on that. We will keep you posted on TexasFootball.com if and when. It'll be when. And by the way, we do have the email address for Coach Burleson on TexasFootball.com. That if you are a coach listening to this and you want to play Hardin Simmons, email him. We got the email address up on TexasFootball.com. They're looking for another non-conference game. To the high school football ranks we go. In the high school football ranks, there's some pretty big news there that Mineral Wells has made a hire. You may remember that Mineral Wells is the looking for a head coach after who left? I'm sorry, I can't find that right now. Anyway, they've been looking for a new head coach. They have found one in Burleson offensive coordinator Cody Worrell. Cody Worrell is going to be the next head coach there at Mineral Wells. They announced this on Thursday. He is the son of Chad Worrell, who of course was the coach at Brock and now at El Campo before moving on to other positions. Worrell was a star on the state title team there in Salina back in 2005. He went with him to El Campo, served as their offensive coordinator for 2020, and then has spent the past month on the staff at Burleson, where Worrell is now the head coach. So he's got his own head coaching job. Mineral Wells has hired Cody Worrell to be their next head coach. We mentioned the big news last week, kind of the sad news that Canadian was looking for a head coach. Chris Ketting was retiring due to some health issues. They have promoted their defensive coordinator, Andy Cavalier, to be their head coach. This is, file this under not surprising at all. Andy Cavalier has looked like the head coach in waiting for a minute there. He, of course, is the father of Cameron Cavalier, who is their outstanding quarterback. And, of course, they've got outstanding quarterbacks all throughout the Cavalier family. But their longtime defensive coordinator, Andy Cavalier, will be the next head coach of the Canadian Wildcats up there in the Panhandle. Brazosport has made a hire. Brazosport, you may remember, Mark Kanapius was retired earlier in the offseason. They have hired running backs coach and special teams coordinator Richard Sincere to be their next head coach. He's been on the staff at Brazosport for the last 3 years. He was at Brazos Wood as their offensive coordinator before that, as well as at Galveston Ball. He has been in the coaching ranks for a while. You may remember he was a star at Sam Houston. He was an FCS All-American there. He held several offensive school records there as a wide receiver there at Sam Houston. But now he's going to be the next head coach at Brazosport, as they have hired. Brazosport has hired Richard Sincere to be their next head coach. Opening down in the Houston area, Fort Bend Elkins has come open. This is okay. We've now entered May. That's not breaking news. We've now entered May, and in May, you get this very unique kind of coaching change. And the very unique kind of coaching change is a coach retires, and he knows it's probably too late for you to do this big, wide coaching search, so you'd probably just better hire the guy that he recommends. That's kind of what happens here in May, and we've got, in my opinion, I've been talking with Dennis Brantley about this. This is what's happening here. Dennis Brantley has retired from coaching after 30. He's been in Fort Bend ISD for the last 31 years. Previously a head coach at Fort Bend Marshall, but he has been part of the Elkins program since 2008. Got promoted to head coach in 2011. I would expect again. That they will move very quickly on this. Fort Bend, you may remember that their district has already hired the first ever head coach at their new school, Fort Bend Crawford, which is going to begin varsity play in 2024, and they filled a head coaching vacancy at Fort Bend. Travis is another opening there at Fort Bend ISD. Dennis Brantley has retired. Again, this to me falls under that category of, what are you going to do? Do this big, wide coaching search? Why don't you just hire the guy that I want? Like, it's kind of the leverage point that you have as a guy who's heading off into retirement is that if you wait until this moment, you can kind of force the hand of the school district. Again, in my opinion, I haven't talked with Coach with Coach Brantley. Maybe this falls under the same category, but actually the longest tenured coach in Dallas ISD has retired. Announced that he is retiring. Steve Pierce has been the head coach at Dallas Samuel High School for the last 36 seasons. He is a guy who has been a mainstay in Dallas ISD for a long, long time. Back in 2001, they earned playoff wins over Dallas Jefferson and Sherman before falling to Highland Park. And then, of course, in 1999, if you are a student of history, they pulled off one of the great upsets in Texas high school football history when they knocked off Highland Park in a by-district thriller, 17-14. He's a Skyline graduate. He played football at Tulsa. He's been an institution down there in Pleasant Grove for a long, long time. He's been the head coach at Samuel for 26 seasons. Now retiring. We certainly wish him the best. He finishes with a career record of 134 and 151. A long-time coach there in Dallas ISD. Steve Pierce has retired again. My guess, now Dallas ISD is a big school district, so they can move some guys around, but I would expect them to move relatively quickly, and I would expect them at least to stay within Dallas ISD, if not within Samuel High School. Brownfield has made a hire. Brownfield has hired Lubbock Coronado co-defensive coordinator Taherick Brantley to be their next athletic director and head football coach. He is a guy who's been on the staff there under Coach DJ Mam there at Lubbock Coronado for the past couple of seasons. He's a native of Lubbock. He is a graduate of Lubbock High. He actually was a track star at Texas Tech before moving into the high school football moving into the high school football coaching world, joined TJ Mann's staff in 2021 as co-defensive coordinator. And what's very strange, actually, is that the guy he's replacing, Aaron Flores, is now going to be the new offensive coordinator at Lubbock Coronado. So a little bit interesting there, a little bit of shifting around. But the new head coach at Brownfield is going to be Taherick Brantley, the former co-defensive coordinator at Lubbock Coronado. Finally, there were state qualifying tournaments for state 7-on-7 across the state of Texas. I believe there's only one, the McLennan County SQT, that's Central Texas for those uncultured swine not knowing where McLennan County is.
How dare you?
I think it's like the Mart one. I think Mart
Yes.
hosts it. In any case, the two qualifiers, Lorena has qualified.
No, I think Lorena hosted it.
Was it Lorena? Okay, maybe. One of them. I mean, it's all McLennan County.
Yes.
All Central Texas. State qualifying round, Lorena will be back at state 7-on-7. They beat Robinson in the state qualifying round to qualify for state 7-on-7. And China Spring, the two-time defending 4A state champs, will be heading to College Station as well. They beat Palestine Westwood in the state qualifying tournament or state qualifying round. So we will see Cash McCollum and company down there at China Spring in College Station. Of course, we have complete coverage of the state 7-on-7 qualifying tournaments, and we'll have complete coverage of the state tournament in College Station coming up here later this summer. But that is all the news that's fit to print. Hey, thanks for watching this clip here on YouTube. If you like this kind of stuff and you want more of it, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And remember, you can watch us live every weekday at noon at TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, or here on YouTube. And if you want more of the best coverage of football in the state of Texas, check out TexasFootball.com and become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football Insider at TexasFootball.com/subscribe.